Morning, church. Harry here again, and just going through the take fives. Today we kind of find ourselves in Deuteronomy 11, and wow, this one's all about obedience, isn't it? Like Moses is kind of urging the people to kind of remember and kind of just reminding them that actually, there's going to be, if you don't follow what we've been set out to follow, that actually there's going to be blessings and curses. Um, which is kind of a hard thing to kind of wrap your head around. I think kind of if you do or you don't, it's like, well, if you do these things, there's going to be blessings. If you don't do these things, there's going to be curses. But we do have to remember this with our eyes and understanding and knowledge of the character of God, and actually, like we remember yesterday, like God is compassionate and caring and loving and just wants the best for us, but he disciplines us well, and that's kind of in order for us to grow. It kind of says here, it's verse 26, 28, I think, yeah. See, I'm setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I'm giving you today, and the curse if you disobey the commands of the Lord your God, and turn from the way that I commanded you today by following other gods, which you have not known. And I was just kind of thinking really a lot about that obedience, like obedience in itself is just hard. And I'm sure like you have all got different experiences of times that you've needed to show obedience, like outside of faith, just in your day-to-day life, whether whether you're at school, like, or you're in your job, like, and some having to do things sometimes that make you uncomfortable or like push you outside of your comfort zone. But there's still things that you need to get done for different reasons. Like obedience isn't always easy, and I think it always pushes us outside of our comfort zone. But I think that's kind of God's design in this situation for the people. It really is a challenge, isn't it? And it was a challenge for the people then, and it's a challenge for us now. I guess I just feel really grateful that we're always able to look at these things with another lens of like looking through Jesus and his life and what he's given us, because Jesus, he comes to fulfill kind of the law, doesn't he? So it changes the dynamic, because although we still have to keep the commandments and the commands that he's asked us to do, we have Jesus that walks with us in that. And there's just, yeah, so much mercy and there's so much grace, so much compassion. It really testifies to his character. I don't know about you, but I'm quite a perfectionist, and if somebody asks me to do something, I just try and do it to my best of my ability. And I think God calls us to live like that, doesn't he? He wants us to do our best and the best that we can to honour him. But I found in my own experience, like trying to do something to the perfection in me kind of can sometimes be a huge stumbling block. But I think what we need to remember in here is like actually the spiritual discipline of obedience. It's like obedience isn't about perfection, it's about direction. It's actually helping to direct us in the right path rather than doing everything perfect. And with that lens of Jesus, it allows us to have the opportunity to really be striving for perfection, and to be honest, like really striving for obedience. But sometimes we're going to get it wrong, and I think God looks at us and goes, yeah, but you're going in the right direction, you're pushing in the right direction, and Jesus is walking with us in that. And it's easy to visualize like Jesus in those struggles, when things that we're trying to change, habits we're trying to break, and I'm sure a lot of us have been there where we want to do something different, but we have to fail. That's what fail means, and I teach that to kids on a daily. Actually, the letters fail, it means first attempt in learning, but we have Jesus walking alongside us in that failure when we get things wrong, but we can keep in the same direction, pushing for obedience. So yeah, it's just what I wanted to share for you today, just to remember that actually obedience is not about perfection, it's about direction. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you tomorrow.